Hi everybody, thanks for joining me again on another making of video. This time, if you allow me, I would like to thank or show my appreciation in particular to all people in Sweden. Uh, People in Sweden have been very open to watching these 50 music postcard videos. So I would like to show my appreciation mainly to Sweden, of course also to Austria, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Germany, who have also been interested in watching some of these videos in the series. So thank you very much. Hope you've appreciated the quality of the songs that I have had the opportunity of sharing. And if you have this has raised in you the interest of coming to Mexico, visit it, and understanding more of its culture, I would be very happy to one day hear about that. But jumping on to the topic today, we have again our very much loved Maria Grieber. We have had a good number of her songs here, and we have another one which reminds us again of her being called by some as the composer of Mexican leader, given the quality, the simplicity in the best interpretation ever, the simplicity and quality, the refinement of her songs, and from a singing perspective, the very much difficult songs if you want to adhere not only to her style from the composition perspective, but to adhering to what a soul like Maria's wanted to transmit to the audience with her songs. The song today is Ya no me quieres, which in English would be something like You don't love me anymore. However, my thoughts are that You don't love me anymore do not carry the same deep sorrow that this phrase carries in Spanish. Because if you ever ask anyone in Spanish, or you say that's because if you say you don't love me in English, I don't think it carries that emotion. But if you say it in Spanish, ya no me quieres, when somebody tells you ya no me quieres, is somehow with a broken heart, with life and emotions torn to pieces. Everything is over. Ya no me quieres. You don't love me anymore. That's why I think that in this and for this case, the translation to English does not carry the same level of emotion. And before we jump to the version that I wanted to share with you, I wanted to tell you that I have had the main melody of the song, the Ya no me quieres. Tú por, yo por estar junto a ti, la vida diera. And I recall this phrase with a very particular emotion of reaching without exaggeration the emotion, also without like I don't care, because it's a very particular state of the soul when you say yo por estar junto a ti. We will go back to that once we reach the score, but I just wanted to tell you that that's what actually was in my mind, and I recalled a female voice singing that one. And I thought that it had been Ana Caridad Acosta. I have talked about her in the past, about that extraordinary mezzo-soprano, Mexican mezzo-soprano, contralto, in fact. But this time we are bringing, and this is shame on me, I hadn't mentioned Maite Cervantes in the past. Maite Cervantes is also a mezzo, or well, is a Mexican mezzo soprano, and she's an outstanding singer. She's an outstanding performer. The quality of her voice, the solid technique that she has is gives her to sing from Mexican music, Napolitan, musical comedy, Italian opera, Verdi, Verismo. She has it all. Maite Cervantes is extraordinary, one of the best singers we've ever had. And if I believe well, she's been active from the middle 90s up to date. And every time you see Maite Cervantes, that Maite Cervantes will be singing, you can be sure that you will have a very good spectacle to attend. So, and if you have toured around the YouTube channel, you may have noticed that we have a playlist that is called Conciertos at the Palacio del Arzobispado. If you go there and you look for Maite Cervantes, you will have the whole experience of one of her performances, and it is of that one of those concerts. I just noticed the date, June 2007. That means 14 years ago. 14 years ago, she sang this song. I am again also going to put the score on the screen so that we can follow what Maite Cervantes is going to sing. Let me go for it. Okay. Of course, being a live presentation, there is the applause. People, all of us, very happy with what we were listening. And the pianist, of course, is also extraordinary. Ya no te acuerdas de mí, ya no me quieres. The most famous melody of the song. Mas tú no quieres volver, ya no me quieres. It is just lovely, right? Um, let's go in detail for the words of the song. As I just shared in the opening of the video, ya no me quieres is like you love me no more, you don't love me anymore. Insist, ya no me quieres in Spanish is a very severe phrase to tell someone that you don't love him or her any longer is very hard to hear, even harder to say. So, the way Maria works on this song is very similar to what she does in many other of her compositions. She starts or she sets the story by recalling what the beloved one said, and what the beloved one said is tuyo soy y siempre lo seré. Tuyo soy y siempre lo seré. That's what she recalls that he said one day, and in a very affirmative way. And that is why this very first phrase needs to be sung with that tone of being very firm, because you are recalling the past, and when you are recalling the past, you recall when he actually told you that he was yours and that he would always be yours. You of course can choose to say it like also very like suffering, recalling tú yo soy y siempre lo seré. But it is also very valid to say you're recalling how it actually happened. And when it actually happened, he was so very sure that he would be always by your side that he said, tuyo soy y siempre lo seré. Because you're recalling how sure he was of being always with you. However, and this is when there is this change in the tone, un día dijiste tembloroso de pasión. You're still recalling that he was very affirmative with that phrase, but you fall into your own emotions and you said, that's what you said one day as you were trembling out of love. That's what you said. Again, affirmative. Di por qué con tu silencio cruel. But now you are reproaching him. Now you tell me why, with this cruel silence, now you want to destroy our illusion. Why is that? In the past, you said that you would be mine and we would be forever together. Why is that now you're telling me with that cruel silence that you are trying to destroy this illusion? Ahora pretend. This is a small pause that almost nobody singer notices. Pretendes destrozar nuestra ilusión. You go after having recalled that part of your life when he told you he would love you forever, and now that you're reproaching him that he's changing and about to break all the story apart, you reach this conclusion for the very first time, and you recall it with a low tone, with a very deep feeling of despair, because now you say, ya no te acuerdas de mí, you don't remember anymore, you don't love me anymore, you don't remember me because you don't love me anymore. Ya no te acuerdas de mí, ya no me quieres. With that sadness in your voice that the beloved one is leaving you, that he loves you no more, you go on saying, y por no hacerme sufrir, callar prefieres. He hasn't told you. In fact, he hasn't told you, but it is all his actions that give you that conclusion. Y por no hacerme sufrir, because you don't want me to suffer, you prefer to not saying anything. Y por no hacerme sufrir, callar prefieres. But you insist that if you have found someone else, if you have found a new illusion, a new love, just don't deny it to me. No me lo niegues. Si has encontrado una nueva ilusión, no me lo niegues, mas nunca trates de fingirme amor, porque me hieres. And it is a very brave woman, or the singer himself, when says, if you have found a new illusion, just don't deny it. But what you don't want him to do to you is to pretend that he still loves you. Try not to fake. Don't pretend you still love me. That would hurt me more. I can understand if you have found someone else. I can understand even if it hurts that you don't love me anymore. But what I cannot carry, what I cannot bear, is that you would pretend you still love me. Meaning, I prefer the truth than a lie. And what would I do to be with you? Yo por estar junto a ti, yo por estar junto a ti, no sé qué diera. Means my love for you is still the same. Yo por estar junto a ti, no sé qué diera, y por besarte otra vez la vida entera. And me for loving you again would give my whole life to be able to kiss you again, to have the chance of kissing you again, because now I would like to unite in a single flame of love, the two of us. I would like us to be still united in that flame of love. Quiero fundir en la llama de amor. You sing it with illusion and despair, the two of us. But mas tú no quieres volver, ya no me quieres. It doesn't matter how much you really want to be with him. You are clear about that. Mas tú no quieres volver. You wrap up with that horrible conclusion that ya no me quieres. You love me no more. Mas tú no quieres volver. Ya no me quieres. It is an extraordinary song. If you see, you can sing it almost as a whisper. You don't need a super dramatic voice, an extraordinary Verdi and mezzo soprano to sing this. You need all you need is your emotions and your voice to say, Mas tú no quieres volver, ya no me quieres. This song testifies how much Maria Grieber understood the emotions of all of us human beings. What a sensitive soul she was, that she was able to put into words this very hard situation with a very lovely music. Thanks everyone for having joined me this time, and I hope to see you on another making of video. Bye bye.